Alright y'all, welcome back to another Tomags golf video. This one we're doing a TrackMan tournament at Le Touquet Open. The Le Touquet Open? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce any of these golf courses that they put on the TrackMan, but they're still real fun to play in. And I looked at the leaderboard. The leaderboard, it was 8 under was leading. So this was gimme putts from 9 feet, and yeah, let's just get right into it. The first hole was a par 5. I aimed a little bit left. I was playing the cut basically with the driver. I didn't really try to hit a draw too much. I wasn't trying to hit it straight. I was just trying to hit that little baby fade on most of the round here. I kind of had the rights going. Before I did this tournament, I did a little bit of speed training, so trying to get the blood flowing, the juices flowing, but I hit a good drive here. I had 201 to the flag. The flag was in the back, so I hit a good 6-iron. It was all over it. I thought it was going to be in, or at least right close to the pin. It was going right at it, a little bit left of it, and since the pin was in the back, it was just off the fringe, but I had a little baby chip, and this is what happened. Yep, just a little chip in for an eagle. Great start to the round, which I'll take it, because like I said, I was a little bit disappointed that that went so deep. But the second hole, par 3, it was, I believe it was 200 yards or so, so I hit that 6-iron again. The elevation I didn't think was going to affect it. It was a little bit downhill, so I took a 6-iron. I guess I could have took a 7, but again, I thought it was kind of, I hit it decent. It was kind of like a perfect club, but ended up, I pulled it a little bit left and had a hard little chip. These greens on this tournament, they were definitely sloped pretty hard. You can't really tell from the picture here because the camera's not the best, but chipped it and it went just a little bit past it. It went past that 9 feet, so it 2-putt me for a bogey, which isn't good. I have to work on that. It's I don't have a good bounce back rate after making a bogey, making like a birdie coming up on the next hole. But and the same thing, if I make a birdie, it's followed up with either 1 or 2 holes with a bogey afterwards. So I really got to work on that. But I sliced this drive. I had 110 in. Luckily, it stayed short of that tree on the right. But 110, I figured give it a little bit extra. I hit a gap wedge, but just didn't get it back there enough. It 2-putt me for a par. So still at 1 over. This par 4, I hit a decent drive out here. I had a good number in for a 5-iron. It was, I believe it was like 210 or something like that. But yeah, just like a little stock 5-iron. I ended up pulling it again. Pretty bad. It went into the bunker, and kind of this whole round I kind of felt like I was just off by like a couple yards. Like if it went 1 more yard farther, I probably would have carried it over that bunker, maybe gone into the other one. But chipping out of the bunker on this, I always want to make sure that I get it high enough, so I always end up giving it a little bit extra. Hit a bad chip shot and made another bogey, so now we're back to even par. But I tried to draw this driver a little bit off of that bunker because the bunker on the left was basically right in about 280 or so. So I knew that if I cut it out there and I pulled it, I probably would have ended up in it. I knew that by hitting a draw, I probably would not flip it over and get into it, so I aimed a little bit right. I had 150 in and I blocked it a little bit right. Had like a decent little chip shot here back into the flag. Just went a little bit flag hunting. I guess I should have aimed a little bit more left just to play it safe, but I'm looking to make birdies on this. I mean, 8 under, you gotta hit it decent. And again, this chip shot was just a little bit too hard. It wasn't good. And it's still at even par. This next one, driver, I hit it a little bit right on this one. Again, I told you I was kind of fighting the slices a little bit. This is what I was talking about, where it's this game of yards where I hit it right, but it stayed out of that bunker. It's 75 yards in. I figured I'd smash a lob wedge. It kind of was a perfect number for it, but I guess being in the right rough, it just didn't travel as much. Could have been, the TrackMan, registering it in the rough, thinking that you're not going to hit it. It's not going to spin as much, but ended up making par, so 2-putt. This next hole was a par 3. I had a good iron number in. It was 147. I just didn't, the iron was a little bit off on this one. I ended up being 30 feet or so, but it 2-putt me for a par. So this next hole, I just tried to hit like a little bit of a controlled driver. It was kind of a knockdown. In a sense, I didn't want to flirt with that water, but I ended up playing the cut, thinking that the trees were pretty far over there. So if I overcut it, I would still have a shot into the green. But had a little knockdown pitching wedge, and I just didn't swing this quite hard enough. I didn't get it back there, but it was still on the green for a 2-putt par. So still sitting at even par. And then number 9 right here. I played it left and I ended up double crossing it kind of, and I thought it was going to end up in those trees over there and go out of bounds, but there's like some high fescue that was right before the trees over there, so the ball ended up getting caught on it. But I had 167 to a front pin, so that was to the pin. So I was thinking in my head 175, so I ended up clubbing up and getting a 7-iron just to get it on the green and get a par and get out of there with an even score par. So ended up even par, and then we shoot over to number 10. I had a 9-iron, and I thought I hit it perfect, but like I said, it was 9 feet. See, I was a little bit disappointed there. I thought I hit it to 9 feet. It ended up being 10 feet, so I was 1 foot short of that birdie, but it is what it is. So I still hit a good iron shot. This next one, I hit a draw on this driver. I tried to to cut it off of that bunker a little bit, but I ended up kind of double crossing it, ended up in the bunker, and I was really afraid of this lip, so I tried to kind of finish high right here, and ended up, since I hit it high, I just kind of blocked it a little bit to the right, and it was just, again, I had like a little bit of a chip shot over here, and I just gave it a little bit too much. This is literally the hardest part of TrackMan. I'm glad that they don't do the putting on this, because the putting I would really struggle, I feel like. But hit a chip shot again just outside of that gimme range. So now I'm sitting at 1 over. But this is just a little bit of a mental grind right here. Try to get it back to level par or whatever I can do. Hit a good drive on this next hole, pretty much right down the middle. It was probably the best drive that I hit of this round. I tried to, again, just hit it dead straight. Not play a cut, not hit a draw, just aim in the middle, try to hit it straight. If it draws, it should be okay. If it cuts, it should be okay. But had a little bit of a gap wedge off of a hill. And I saw that this hill on the left looked like it was going to feed towards the cup, so I did intentionally aim a little bit to the left, but I just didn't get it back far enough on this shot. So this was a good birdie opportunity. I think I missed, to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed, but pars are okay, especially on this. So still sitting at 1 over par. This next one, I tried to rip driver kind of hard because I was a little bit disappointed on that last one, not getting that ball back to the cup. So I gave this a little bit extra. I had a really good number, 90 yards. I'm really comfortable with that 90-yard gap wedge shot. I know to take it back. I know the swing speed that I need. I hit a great shot here to 7 feet and made a birdie. So back to even par. This next hole, when I hit this drive, I aimed it pretty much dead straight. It looked like it was wide open up there. And after I hit this, I'm like, oh, okay, it's good. And then I kind of stopped in my tracks because I did not see that creek right there. And luckily, the ball cut. But if I hit that ball dead straight, it definitely would have been in that creek. So I'm happy that it avoided it, but that was not intentional. I did not see that creek out there. But ended up like having, I believe it was like right around 100 yards. Hit a good wedge shot in, but again, it was just outside of that gimme range. I hit it to 12 feet. Again, inside 9 feet is a birdie. So again, it was a good shot, but still just a par. But the 14th hole, this was an intimidating tee shot because this fairway looked like it was only like 20 yards long. It's a little bit of a dogleg right, so I aimed right in the middle of that where it starts a dogleg to try to play a cut off of that, and ended up hitting a good one, which, you know, felt good to step up and hit a good one. The second shot in here, again, I just pulled it a hair. I was just, you know, I was coming over the top, as you can see in that motion right there. I was just really trying to get that slot in there, which I've been kind of lacking, but I had like a decent little chip shot here. Ended up, you know, going pretty tight. I think that ended up to like 3 feet or something like that. So it was a little bit of a stressful par, but I'm sorry, I take that back. It was a little bit of a stressful chip shot, but ended up getting it close and tapping it in for birdie. So sitting at 1 under. This next one's par 3. I was really working on that slot just to make sure I'm hitting a good, you know, getting right down that intended line. I had a 9-iron right here. It was to a front pin. It was a pretty good number. I believe it was like right around 150. So I just took dead aim with this, and I did find that slot, and I hit it perfect. There was no curve on it at all, and ended up going back-to-back birds. So this is where the round didn't fall apart right here, but I screwed this hole up royally. This is a par 5. I hit a bad drive. I pulled it left into these trees. I didn't know if it was going to be out of bounds or not, but it ended up being inbound still. Now, whenever you're in these trees and you're rotating like this, it's never a good sign. But on this TrackMan, it's like you could smash the ball as hard as you want, and it's like it only goes 3 yards. I ended up just like punching a 3-wood, and it got through somehow, which it never ever does. So again, I thought I was going to even end up in those trees, but I didn't. I stayed short of it. I had a long third shot in here. Ended up hitting a 5-iron, and it came out hot. Like I hit it low. I sculled it a little bit. Like I hit it a little bit thin, so I knew it was going to be deep, but I got it over. I needed to get this up and down for par. Hit a chip shot, and it was just not a good chip shot. It rolled, you know, outside of that 9-foot range. Just gave it a little bit too much, but that was just not the place to be. I mean, the green sloped from the back to the front pretty severely, so I just screwed that up, you know, pretty bad. Ended up bogeying, so sitting at 1 under. So again, this 18th hole, I hit a good drive. I was right down the middle. Again, I was a little bit upset about that last hole, but you know, it is what it is. You got to leave those bad shots in the past and just keep going forward with it. So hit a good drive. I had 130 into the flag, which is a pretty like 3/4 pitching wedge, a little bit harder than like a knockdown, but I just swung a little bit extra hard and ended up hitting a good one to exactly 9 feet. So it gave me that birdie. So that was the round. I mean, it again could have been better. It was kind of sloppy round, but you know, whenever you're finishing one of these tournaments in under par, you know, it's pretty decent. So basically eagled the first hole and kind of shot level par after that. Couple mistakes, but definitely learned from them. And I like doing these. I'm definitely going to do another one coming up here shortly. I'll release a video. I kind of like the 9-hole ones. The 18s are okay, but you know, more chance to obviously make mistakes and whatnot. But 1 under round, 2 under, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all y'all, and have a good day.